Today we discuss the Midland BTR1 Advanced, an intercom with a battery life of 23 hours, equipped with 40mm RCF speakers. It allows the connection of 2 phones and 4 intercoms in both one-to-one mode and conference mode, and also has FM radio functionality. The new features of the BTR1 Advance include the updated design, the addition of a USB Type-C port, the inclusion of a magnetic helmet attachment, the availability of 2 attachment systems for the helmet using either 3M VHB adhesive or a clamp, and the provision of 2 acoustic pads for your speakers, enhancing the overall functionality and user experience. The 2 microphones included in the package, one with a stick and one with a wire, allow you to mount the BTR1 Advance on all types of helmets from all brands. The BTR1 Advance allows for pairing 2 devices like GPS phones and TFT, up to 4 Midland intercoms, Cardo models with OBI protocol, or intercoms from other brands, providing enhanced connectivity options for users. Only through the use of interphone in Midland is it possible to have a conference communication. To begin, let's pair the main device, which is the phone. I make sure that the interphone is off, indicated by the non-flashing LED. Then, I press the central button until a steady red light appears. The fixed red light serves as an indicator of the setup mode that I must enter in order to initiate the pairing process. To begin, I retrieve my phone and access the Bluetooth settings. From there, I activate the search function and commence the pairing procedure by pressing the volume up button on the main device. Within the Bluetooth settings, I locate the Midland BTR1 Advanced and proceed to confirm any requests or prompts that may appear on both the phone and the device itself. Once the confirmation is complete, the 2 devices are successfully paired. Moving on, let's now explore the process of pairing a second device, which could be either a secondary phone exclusively for calls or a motorcycle GPS system. The state we find ourselves in now is intercom on. To enter setup mode, we should start with the intercom turned off. However, there is a shortcut with the intercom on. By pressing the 3 large buttons of the BTR1 Advance, I can quickly enter setup mode. To establish a connection with a secondary device, simply press the volume down button, triggering the initiation of the red and blue flashing lights. At this point, I retrieve my motorcycle GPS and patiently wait until the Midland BTR1 Advance appears on the screen, confirming a successful pairing. Once the pairing with the second device is completed, the first device automatically reconnects, ensuring a seamless user experience. Now that we have successfully paired devices such as phones, GPS, or TFT, let us proceed to learn how to pair the intercoms. To initiate the pairing process, it is always necessary to enter the setup mode, which can be easily accessed using our designated shortcut. Therefore, with the interphone powered on, simply press the 3 designated buttons simultaneously to enter the setup mode and begin the pairing process. This step is crucial for establishing a secure and reliable connection between the intercoms, enabling seamless communication during your motorcycle rides. The primary intercom is paired on the central button because with this pairing we have both voice activation, voice-operated switch, Vox, and music sharing options accessible. Let's take our other intercom. This device instead is turned off, so press the central button until you get a steady red light, and with both intercoms, let's start the pairing process. The 2 intercoms have been successfully paired. The BTR1 Advance remained in setup mode, so we can continue with the pairings. We can then pair, for example, another Midland intercom on one of the other available channels. I enter with the BTX2 Pro SLR in setup mode and pair the central channel of the BTX2 Pro SLR with the up button of the BTR1 Advance. This will ensure a seamless connection between the two devices and enable smooth communication. Once the pairing is complete, we can proceed to test the functionality and range of the intercoms to ensure optimal performance. Let's proceed with our pairings by pressing the Midland down button of the BTR1 advanced device and simultaneously pressing the forward button of the BTX1 Pro S model to establish a connection. Alright, I have one last available pairing option on the BTR1 Advanced. To access it, I can simply press the up button for a duration of 7 seconds. This will cause the device to switch from fast flashing to slow flashing, indicating that the pairing mode is activated. Please note that this is the fourth and final pairing that I can make. We also have another intercom device called the BT Mini, and we will proceed with the intercom pairing process for that device. Here we have finished the fourth and final pairing. Okay, now let's do a brief opening and closing tour of the intercom, making sure we are in intercom mode, and then we'll see how to proceed. Let's try opening and closing with the paired intercoms. One click on the central button and we will open the audio with our BTR1 Advance. The purple lights distinguish the open audio with the BTX2 Pro SLR. Instead, we have paired the central button with the button on top. We open from the BTX2 Pro SLR. The purple lights distinguish the open intercom audio. Let's close the Beating Sound Pro S. We have paired it with the forward button, open audio. Last pairing with the Beat Mini opens from BTR1 Advanced by pressing the up button for 3 seconds. Here we have completed the 4 available intercom pairings on the BTR1 Advanced. However, if instead of Midland intercoms, we have intercoms from other brands, how do we pair them? To pair intercoms from other brands, the process may vary. It is recommended to refer to the user manual or contact the manufacturer for specific instructions on how to pair intercoms from different brands. Following the provided guidelines will ensure a successful pairing process and enable communication between intercom devices of different brands. If you encounter any difficulties or have further questions, it is advisable to seek technical support from the respective brand's customer service. If we have, for example, Cardo intercoms with lobby protocol, we can pair them exactly as if they were Midland intercoms. So even with these intercoms, we will activate the intercom pairing on the BTR1 Advance. Now let's enter again with our trick in setup mode. We will have to choose to pair the Cardo on one of these buttons, and the Cardo will overwrite the pairing that was previously done. I choose to pair the Cardo on the down button, and the Cardo has been paired. Now, by pressing the down button, I will no longer open the audio to the BTX1 Pro S, but I will open and close the audio with the Cardo. If instead I have to pair an intercom that is neither a Midland nor a Cardo with the lobby protocol, I will have to use a different type of pairing. In this case, the specific steps for pairing will depend on the particular intercom model and its compatibility with the lobby protocol. It is important to carefully follow the instructions provided by the manufacturer to ensure successful pairing and optimal functionality of the intercom system. Let us revert to utilizing our trick to enter setup mode with the intercom activated. I consistently opt for one of the accessible combinations. If I am utilizing a different brand of intercom, I will need to employ the phone pairing method instead of the intercom pairing method, as if I were using a Midland or a Cardo intercom. In that scenario, I will utilize the phone pairing method. The two intercoms are currently paired, so by pressing the corresponding button for the pairing, I will have the ability to open and close the connection with the Sena intercom. On the other hand, the Sena intercom, assuming it is paired with a phone, will open and close the audio utilizing the voice call command. Upon hearing the initial click, I will be notified that the phone is connected, and upon hearing the second click, I will be notified that the audio is open with the Midland intercom. This process ensures seamless communication and convenient control between the intercom devices, enhancing the overall user experience and facilitating efficient communication during rides. The reliable and efficient functionality of the intercom system greatly enhances the convenience and safety of motorcycle riders, allowing for clear and uninterrupted communication on the road. Once we have finished making all the pairings with the BTR1 Advance, we need to understand how to manage all these devices. The interface of the BTR1 Advance is made in mode. We have a total of 3 modes. The phone mode, which allows us to manage devices such as TFT phones and navigators. In this case, I paired the plus volume with this Android phone as the main phone, and the minus volume with this iPhone as the secondary phone. For example, the work phone. When I am in phone mode, to change modes, simply hold down the central button and listen to the various voice announcements that will say phone. This is crucial for effectively utilizing the BTR1 Advance and optimizing device management. It is important to familiarize ourselves with these modes to ensure efficient operation. The intercom and FM radio are cycled through as I hear the voice announcement of the mode that interests me. I release the button when I am in phone mode. My buttons send commands to the devices, so in this mode I can, for example, play the music of the main phone paired with volume plus by clicking the central button. I can also send the track forward or send the track back by clicking the central button again. When I want to pause the music, I can click the central button. When the music is paused, the up arrow will activate the voice call on the main phone paired with volume plus. On the other hand, a click on the down button will send the voice call to the phone paired with the volume minus button. This functionality provides convenient control over intercom, FM radio, music playback, and voice calls, enhancing the overall user experience. After the phone mode, by pressing and holding the center button for approximately 2 seconds, we will enter the intercom mode. The voice announcement through the intercom will inform us of the mode in which we entered, while in intercom mode, we have the capability to open and close. The intercom, with all the intercoms that we have paired. For example, here, I have paired the BTR1. Advance on the central button. I can open and close the audio with it, and I have paired another BTR1. Advance on the up button. I can open and close the audio with this intercom. So as you could see in intercom mode, the 3 large buttons of the BTR1 Advance. They have ceased sending commands to TFT GPS phones anymore, but they have continued to send commands to other paired intercoms, specifically the opening and closing commands of the 3rd and last intercom communication mode of the BTR1 Advance. This mode happens to be the FM radio mode, which can be activated by holding down the button for approximately 2 seconds. Upon doing so, I will hear the FM radio voice, and upon releasing the button, the FM radio will automatically turn on. In this mode, the 3 large buttons on the device will allow me to control the power of the FM radio, with the up and down buttons enabling me to quickly search for stations with strong signals on the FM band. Additionally, if I hold down the up and down buttons for around 2 seconds, I will be able to access the voices of the memories. It is worth noting that the BTR1 Advance has 6 programmable memories, which can be conveniently stored and managed through the Midland Connect application, providing users with the ability to save their favorite radio frequencies. By pressing and holding the center button, the 3 modes will scroll continuously. Phone, intercom, FM radio. If no devices such as TFT phones or GPS and volume up and volume down buttons have been paired, the phone mode will not be available because there will be no devices to control. If no intercoms will have been paired with the three large buttons, the intercom mode will not be available because there will be no intercoms to open and close the intercom. If you do not want to use the FM radio mode, you can disable this mode through the Midland Connect application. It is clear that in any mode we will be in, it will always be possible to receive a phone call, listen to the GPS voice, or activate the intercom through Vox on the Pirate intercom on the central button. The availability of the intercom function is dependent on the presence of paired intercoms, without which the intercom mode cannot be accessed or utilized. To deactivate the FM radio mode, users can make use of the Midland Connect application. A trick for those who only use the phone and intercom mode is to always stay on the phone mode by clicking on these three buttons. The commands will be sent to the phone by double-clicking on these three buttons. Instead, the opening and closing command will be sent to the other paired intercoms. We have seen how to pair the intercoms and how to communicate in intercom mode with both Midland intercoms and intercoms from other brands, or with Cardo intercoms that support the OB protocol. But what if we wanted to speak in a conference? First of all, we need to know that you can only speak in a conference between Midland interphones. However, if we want to speak in a conference, we must decide it before leaving, because we have to pair ourselves with a particular procedure. Let's see how to pair these four interphones in a conference. Let's enter setup mode with all of them. So from off, hold down until we get a steady red light on all four interphones. Since we don't know what was previously paired on the various buttons to pair the interphones, I also recommend a reset of the pairings on all of them. So press the plus and minus buttons for 3 seconds. The blue flashing confirms the successful reset of the pairings. Great. Now that we have all the interphones in setup mode and with the pairings reset, let's proceed with the chain pairing. In the chain pairing process, one interphone is designated as the master and the others as slaves. The master interphone will be the one initiating and controlling the conference call. To establish the chain pairing, follow the instructions provided in the user manual. Once the chain pairing is successfully completed, you will be able to speak in a conference using the Midland interphones. In the R line, the down button is paired with the up button, whereas in the PRO line, the forward button is paired with the backward button, creating a seamless user experience. To demonstrate a mixed conference showcasing the new R-line models and PRO models, and to enhance your understanding, I will rotate these top interphones in a manner that creates a resemblance between the down button and the up button, and the forward button and the backward button of the PRO line, thereby simplifying their functionality. Then let's proceed to match what we will ideally call Motorcyclist 1 with Motorcyclist 2. So let's start the pairing with the down button and the pairing with the up button of the second one. So these are the two buttons that look at each other. Let's wait for the end of the pairing, okay? And let's continue. Let's match the down button of the second motorcyclist with the up button of the third motorcyclist. Let's wait for the end of the pairing and let's perform the third and last pairing, the down button, which conventionally we will call the back button, with the forward button of Motorcyclist 4. As we have successfully completed the matching process, now we can proceed to the next step and continue with the rest of the motorcyclists. If it had clearly been another intercom from INR, I would have used the UP button. All four intercoms are now connected in a chain. To exit setup mode, we can simply double-click on the center button. By doing so, we will now enter conference mode, which is not considered as a fourth mode, but rather a mode that will replace the intercom mode. Instead of having the intercom mode, users will now have the conference mode available. In order to enter the conference mode, it is necessary to press and hold the center button and the up button simultaneously for a duration of 3 seconds. During this time, users should listen for the voice prompt saying "Conference." This process needs to be performed on all 4 intercoms, as well as on the BTX2 Pro SLR. It is important to note that the up button and the center button correspond to the forward button and the center button, respectively. Also here 3 sec on these 2 buttons. Once all participants enter conference mode, they start searching for each other and they will create a data network. It is enough for any of the 4 interfaces to click the central button to send the boost command and open the audio with all the interfaces, enabling communication among all participants in the conference. At this time, the 4 intercoms are all speaking simultaneously. It is advantageous to maintain the arrangement of motorcycles similar to that of intercom pairing, meaning that this is the initial one in the chain if the person who wears it will have the number 1 motorcycle in the chain. You can maximize the distance in conference mode. It is also possible to open it individually with the up or down buttons. So my down button has been paired with the up button of this one. By clicking only this button, I can close it with the same motorcyclist. The same thing happens by clicking this button, I can close it with the same motorcyclist. And by clicking this button, I can close it with the motorcyclist 4. A click on the up button, which is paired with the down button of this one, allows me to open it individually with the motorcyclist 1. But again, it is enough that one of the 4 motorcyclists clicks the central button to send a boost command and to open the audio among all 4 in conference mode. 2 clarifications. Once we have paired in conference mode and used the conference, if we turn off the intercom, when we turn it back on, it will already be in conference mode and ready to connect. When using the other interphones, turn all 4 of them on in conference mode. Wait a few seconds for them to establish a connection between each other. Then, press the boost command on one of the 4 interphones to open the audio between all 4. By following these steps, you can easily establish a conference call with the interphones and enjoy seamless communication. The second advice instead pertains to the telephone connection during the conference. It is not feasible to utilize the phone. In fact, the phone, or generally the devices connected to the volume plus and volume minus, will be temporarily disconnected. By closing the conference audio, by clicking the central rate and the super rate for 3 seconds, I am able to exit conference mode and return to intercom mode. This allows me to regain access to the phone and resume normal communication without any interruptions or restrictions caused by the conference setup. When I go back to intercom mode, the devices paired with plus and minus will be automatically reconnected. It will be possible to switch back to phone mode and make phone calls or use the phone to its full functionality. After that, by pressing these 2 buttons again, it will be possible to return to conference mode and, as a result, resume chatting with everyone else who is part of the conference. This seamless transition between modes enhances the convenience and efficiency of communication, providing a smooth and uninterrupted experience for users.